In this video, I want to test another Forex strategy. The strategy is if the price rises above yesterday's highest price but is rejected and falls back into yesterday's range and then creates a range bound below, we open a sell position at the high of this range. And if the price falls below yesterday's lowest price but is rejected and rises back into yesterday's range, then creates a range bound above, we open a buy position at the low of this range. Hey everyone, I'm Sepide. I'm a programmer with a passion for trading. I'm here to test different strategies for Forex, crypto, and the stock market. Together, we'll figure out what works, what doesn't, and hopefully discover a reliable strategy for our trading. In each video, I'll create an expert advisor for a strategy and test it using data from the past years. If you find these videos helpful, please like, comment, and don't forget to subscribe. It really helps me out. Now I will test this strategy so we can see how does it perform in the past years. I'll test it on Euro for 2023. So we had minus 46% for Euro M5 chart. I want to show you the position so we can see how does it exactly work. So here we have the blue line is the lowest price of the yesterday, and the price falls below it and rejected and goes above it and creates a range bound here, and it opened a buy at the low of this range. Here again it breaks yesterday's highest price, returns back and creates a range here, and it opened a sell position. It had 38% profit for M5. I will test it on M15. For M15 it didn't work and it had 47% loss. I'll test it for 2022. 2022 it had 26% profit. I'll test it for 2021. So for 2021 it didn't work and it had 70% loss. It was opening 0.01 lot for every $10. Now I change it to open for every $5. It had 140% profit. I had put the bound range to be 100 points. Now I change it to be 70 points. So if candles fluctuate between 70 points, it counts them as a bound range. It had 300% profit. Let's test it for 15 minutes. So it didn't work for 15 minutes. It had minus 30. Let's test it for 5 minutes for 2022. For 2022 it had 70% profit. I will test it for 2021. For 2021 it didn't work and it had minus 80% loss. I'll test it for 2020. For 2020 also it didn't work. I will run the visual so we can see the positions, so we can know how can we optimize this strategy. So I want to check the positions that they had loss. Okay, here we had a buy position here. You had yesterday's low. Price rejected and created a range, so it opened a buy position here, but it dropped and stop loss triggered here. There's some profits here, like here we had a high yesterday, price goes up and rejected, and here it's created a range, so it opened a sell position and it had to take profit here. After that it detects another range and opens another sell here, and it has stop loss. So here again the low is break and reject, and you have a buy and it had TP, and the next one is triggered to stop loss. So I can I want to change the code to open just one position when it detects the range. So if it detects another range above it, it won't open another position. Now I change the code to open just one buy position and one sell position. So if a buy position was opened before, it won't open any other buy position, and if a sell position was opened before, it won't open any other sell positions. I will test it for Euro 2023. So we can see here price was rejected and the range was here and it opened a buy, but when above it another range is detected, or here no other buy was opened. Here also we had a sell position, but below it we have another range, but it didn't open any other sell position, just one sell and one buy in a day. It had 8,600% profit. I'll test it for 2022. It had -9 for 2022. I'll test it for 2021. It had -89 for 2021. I'll test it for gold. It didn't work for gold too. It had -50% loss. Now I removed the stop loss, so it just closed positions when it has 20% loss. Otherwise, the position will be open. It had 1,100% profit. I'll test it for 2022. It had 16% for 2022. I'll test it for 2021. For 2021, it didn't work. It had 90% loss. I'll test it for 2020. For 2020, it didn't work too. So it had a really good performance for 2023, but it didn't work for other years. I'll test it for gold for 2023. It had -23, so it doesn't work for gold too. Now I removed the closing condition at 11 in the night. So positions will be opened even after days until it has 20% loss. It had 90% loss. I will test it for 2021. It had 80% loss for 2021. I will test it for 2023. It had about 400% profit for 2023. It had 100% profit for 2022. So if we close positions in the night, it will have better results. Now I want to test it another time so we can check the positions. So here we had a stop loss. I want to check it, what happened here. So here we can see the price rejected to previous day's range and creates a range here, but price went up and it had 600 loss. So we can see price go back and create a range here and open the buy position. There's sometimes like here that a range is created and price after that goes up, and I put the code to upper limit at the low of the range, so price goes back and opened it. I want to change it to if price rejected and creates a range, it's open a buy market at that moment, so it won't wait to price goes up and back again. It opened a sell as soon as the range is created. So here we can see it detects a range, and in that time it opened a sell position here, and it didn't wait until the price goes back to the high of this range. Just the time it detects the range, it opened a sell position. It had 60% loss, so if we put buy limit and sell limit at the high and low of the range, it would work better. The next thing I want to test is to add Bollinger Bands to this strategy. If the range is also between Bollinger Bands and Bollinger upper and lower bands aren't too wide apart, then we open position. Here we can see it detected a range here, and the range is also between Bollinger Bands, and the Bollinger Bands aren't too wide apart and they are close together, so it opened a position here. It had -11, so Bollinger Band made it worse. So this strategy also didn't work. I will put a part of the backtest so you can see how does it exactly work and the positions that were opened. So if you're interested, you can watch till the end. Thanks for watching.